Yes, everyone, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur. Here it is going to be Dave and Jack providing your Twitter reacts straight after the game after a 4-3 result against the K-League 11, the K-League All-Stars. More of a mixed bag, as Dave and I were saying this time around. Some positives, but also some maybe concerns and question marks about the performance that I'm not sure will be totally reflected in the Twitter reacts because I think it stays quite humorous. But if you guys would like to provide any insights, any opinions, feel free to do that in the comments below. Do smash the like button as well. We're producing this straight after the watch along, and it's been nice that now my day is about to end at only 8:30 a.m. But I have been up since 2:30 a.m. So maybe I should actually be less of a crazy person and probably go to bed after this. But if you can for us, smash the like button would be a great service. Dave, shall we get straight into this?
Yeah, look, let's go. Spurs fans, I always say, are at their best when we win. We won yesterday. Let's see what what goal Twitter's going to throw up for us.
Yeah, let's see what it has provided us. RK saying in response to Billy's tweet, Donley looking good as an inverted baller. And he's taken that maybe a bit literally here, RK, in that case. He's inverted the picture entirely. That's how good Donley's been playing. He can practically play upside down. That's how good he is. Brianna saying he is the moment. I mean, Dave, look at that photo there. Ange Postecoglou. I mean, it's like he's a K-pop star or something like that with all the cameras that he has in front. I mean, talk about the attention. Even Sonny would be probably jealous of that attention from the Korean media.
They love him out there. They love him.
India saying, I would wish Spurs the best, but we already had the best. Everybody's saying they're Emerson Royale testimonials, Dave. Some people are very happy to see him gone. Some people are, in a very emotional stage right now seeing the GOAT leave.
No, look, I can understand it. I do think, though, it probably time has come to move him on. Especially with the emergence of Jedi Spence this preseason. But he leaves with no ill feelings.
No, he
And
doesn't.
he was still committed today. Absolutely committed out there. Sliding around the place like an absolute lunatic. So I don't think anyone told him it was preseason.
He almost was injuring, himself, almost the K-League players. He was that going hard into it. Emerson Royale. The Spurs web just pointing out that this was just vintage Sonny here. And, I mean, this is almost a better angle than even we had from the referee, I must say. Absolute scorching finish here. It's just rockets off his boot from there. It's just gorgeous. And it is vintage Sonny. And I'm not even sure. Maybe they heard me on the watch along because that's what I was saying during it. Maybe they were hearing the phrases that I was using. It definitely was vintage Sonny. Jesse Lingard and Sonny. Jesse Lingard taking some pointers maybe.
I would urge Sonny to stay completely away from Jesse Lingard. You don't want that drop off from Grace. Only surround yourself with winners there, Sonny. That's
Yeah.
what I would say.
I think he's playing for FC Seoul. I hope he's still playing for FC Seoul because Jesse Lingard, he has been moving around a ton lately, and you like to hope that at some point he can settle down maybe somewhere at some club. And Joe's saying, "Yo, I'm starting to effing hate these guys in the celebrations." It was a bit audacious, and I'm a little confused by the persistence with it. Maybe doing it once, you already kind of anger some of the fan base and you get us riled up, but fair play, right? We always enjoy the housery, and on this channel we're big fans of that, but to do it more than once, I think that's when you start to really kind of rub it in kind of a weird way, if you ask me. So
Could,
yeah.
could you imagine 6 or 7 of our Spurs players lining up to do something like that? Our fans wouldn't even accept that of our own players doing something like that, let alone what we witnessed then. That's disgusting, that behaviour. It's preseason friendly.
And someone pointing out that this is Bergvall, Dave. In context to explain this, you can see Tyrese Hall and some other people are kind of poking him, prodding him, spraying water at the back of his neck. I think the context of this tweet is that Pop Matasar, which I think picked up on quite early, has been seen as a very likable guy around the camp. A lot of people like to mess with him, kind of give him, kind of noogies on his head and like things like that, and just sort of, treat him like kind of like the younger brother of the squad. And apparently Bergvall is starting to get some of the same treatment by the rest of the players.
And apparently he gives as good as he gets banter-wise as well, which is great to see. He shows that he's settling in just fine, which is what we need.
He actually had a bit of banter for Kulusevski when I saw an interview between the two of them. He had a funny sense of humor, very serious sense of humor with him. But like you say, he knows how to give it and take it.
What a performance as well, by the way, today. Absolutely unbelievable.
Has he ever played bad so far? You wonder if
No.
he's even capable of a bad performance, Lucas Bergvall. He's just looking that good. Luca THFC saying my Korean goat still has the finesse and the play style. I mean, that's what happens, Dave, when he's put out in the left wing.
Well, Jack, this is what people accused me of hating Son for the last year and a half. I'm actually going to claim I've been the biggest Son fan of all time because, I was the only one that stuck true to his position and knew deep down what Sonny actually wanted, Many people wanted him to be the face of the club, go and score all the goals, but he was doing that off the left-hand side anyway. So, I think I am owed quite an apology. There's an extensive list. So if you want to start getting them in the comment section below, that would be absolutely ideal. So who would have thought, Jack, that I've gone from Harry Kane's number one fan to Sonny? Amazing.
I mean, you just like world-class players, Dave. I think that's just your thing, and you become the Sonny interpreter. I think at this point, become the Sonny lawyer. And what I also find funny is Dave, when it comes to dishing out his own apologies to various players or other fans, takes a while. It's a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of red tape and yellow tape. But the moment that Dave, is needing apologies for himself, it's just like the fax machine is just running cleanly and, smoothly, and it all gets filed in straight away. He's at peak efficiency all of a sudden. I do appreciate that. Billy's, and I also think this was Dave's celebration as well, when seeing Sonny just flourishing on the left wing. He must have been dancing just like this. We know Dave's got the moves.
Oh, Jack, it's been my teenage years since I've busted out moves like that, but someone like Kulusevski and Son can definitely get me that flexible again for sure.
And then this was my reaction to seeing Emerson nearly scoring that bicycle kick, from the preseason. Billy saying denied an Emerson finale goal, and we're all in an emotional state, aren't we, right now, Billy?
That would have been unbelievable.
It's what the king does. Hotspur report says our midfield three today, 18 years old, 18 years of age, and 21. I mean, we're getting so many young talents at this point, Dave, that we're starting to feel like 21-year-olds are looking old in our team. Like, it's ridiculous.
Look, you can't go too far one way, but what I would say is they're providing a fresh, energetic look to Spurs. They're bringing nice, young, fresh energy to it as well, which I think older fans like me is feeding off again. It's a good, vibrant sort of atmosphere right now. But, the fact that they're so good, we haven't even talked about, we've still got Basuma, Bentancur, Madison, players like that as well that they're competing with. So it's exciting that we've already got what was deemed as maybe our midfield three last season. We've also got the next generation coming through, and some would argue they're better than what we've currently got. Let's see them fight it out for the season. I mean, I can't lay it up any better than that, Jack.
And another thing to point out is just age is only a number when it comes to talent and when it comes to ability and quality. And I think that's something you've maintained for a while now, and that would reflect in how good this midfield has performed.
Spot on.
Micah saying seeing a Bergvall grace our midfield than a Davies Emerson center back partnership. What was hilarious was Dave and I's frustration during the watch along, seeing those two as the center back pairing, and then about 30 or 40 minutes in, we started to realize, wait a minute, have Emerson and Davies been some of the best players on the pitch here? Like, what's going on? It's just one of those conundrums with those two. Those guys just always will continue to confuse us and throw us off. But that is an OG meme and an OG kind of just thing that from Ralph Hasenhüttl. It's so good. Oh, I love it. Kulusevski Nation. Dave, I mean, speak on behalf of them. You're the Sonny interpreter. Now you're the Kulusevski defender. I mean, how do you feel?
I wouldn't even say the Kulusevski defender, Jack. I'd say the Kulusevski whisperer. I mean, I did call it up front. That's his position. I called it halfway. I called it last season. I didn't even get to see him up front. That's how much of a, into the future I am right now. But look, we're so back, Jack. I've had to sit back. I've had to take the criticism. Fair, may I add. Not complaining about it. It's been absolutely fair on Kulusevski. And many people, what really irked me was many people saying cash in as soon as Napoli came around. Well, we're so back, Jack. Every single one of us, the Kulusevski army, we're all big blokes as well. So beware, we're all back. And I'm absolutely buzzing for him. Long may it continue. I must stress, Kulusevski army out there, it is only pre-season. Let's not get too over the top right now. We will have our moment, though. So just hold fire right now. But just to let everybody know, we are on the edge, ready to invade.
I'm trying to check if the Kulusevski Nation isn't behind me or anything, because it felt like Dave wasn't even talking to me. He was actually addressing all of his followers and all of his fellow Kulusevski lovers. Felt like it wasn't even talking to me there. And I also just love this meme as well. I think this is exactly what Dave looked like if he could have during that watch along, and just how he felt about Kulusevski. Brianna caught a wholesome moment with Ange and Pop Matasar. I mean, interesting here. You wonder if Pop Matasar maybe injury picks up something, maybe like some type of, I don't know. What can you interpret from this, Dave? Or is there not really much to take from this?
No, I don't think there's much to take from this. I just think Ange Postecoglou is telling them, look, you're the best midfielder. Believe in yourself. You're an unbelievable, believe that you are Papa Matasaurus Rex. So go out there and perform like it. I think he's just treating him up, Jack.
Yeah, maybe so. Spurs fan John saying Kulu has now been involved in the opening goals in all 4 preseason friendlies. And not only is he, I think, contributing more than just assist date, but it looks like Kulusevski's, like John is pointing out, has been part of all the openers. So kind of when it matters most, right? Getting that opening goal, getting that, getting on the scoreboard straight away. He's the guy that's contributed to that in all these preseason games. That's impressive.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal, assist and play, scoring goals, he's been everywhere. I thought we saw Maddison to do this. However, Kulusevski says, give me the mantle, give me that pressure. I've got shoulders broad enough to take it. And he's took it on with a plum. I can't complain about that. I do want to make maybe one point though on Kulusevski. He is crucial to Son. If you go back and watch preseason games this season, whether Son's been in the middle and Kulu's been in the cam, or Son's out left and Kulu's up top, their link-up play together is unbelievable. They're on the same wavelength in terms of football IQ and reading each other and the moves they want to do. So I actually think it's very important to get them playing on the same side of the pitch together, whether that's Cam and left wing, whether that's Cam and striker. I do not care. But the two of them, their link-up play has been sensational.
Yeah, very good point that they've combined really well together. In the Kulusevski strongman army, the Kulusevski weight room army will flourish this weekend. THFC Matthews saying, the number 10, we are coming for you. Now, I'm trying to interpret this tweet best as I can from Matthews. Do you think he's saying that Bergvall is coming for that number 10 jersey? Is he coming for that number 10 role? Or both?
It's coming from Maddison, I think, is what the warning shot is here, and rightly so. I said it in the pre-match build-up show on Friday with you, Jack. That I think Maddison is under pressure. I don't think he's done anything this pre-season to show that he's going to hit the ground running or burst into form or change his form from the way he finished last season. And Postecoglou has dropped him. He took him off a lot of times last season. He's no loyalties to someone like James Maddison, and you look at the fee we paid for Maddison, it's in around what we've paid for most players. So it's not like, it's £100 million player that Ange Postecoglou can't drop. He can, and he will. And Bergvall is just doing a lot more right now. He's giving Spurs fans what we missed last season. So long may it continue, and it won't be too long before he displaces him.
It's very silky smooth, Bergvall is. And I caught this actually during the training video as well. I'm glad someone clipped this up for Get Transfer News. We got a new pop-up to Sarvi. I was also really thrown off by this. I absolutely loved this from Sar. I think he's looking at Richarlison as well as he's walking past him. I just found it brilliant.
Probably has pigeon Crocs on or something like that, Richarlison.
Yeah, it's just very funny. Like it's an absolutely great clippable moment for Pop Matasar.
That's me when I see a buffet, Jack, and it says all you can eat.
I think it's Dave looking back at all the Kulusevski Napoli tweets, I think, and just sort of chuckling to himself, I guess, and raising the eyebrows. Bergvall and Gray in midfield. This was absolutely brilliant, I thought, from the two of them. It's just Messi and Danny Alvarez, Dave, right? Yeah. Just the combination of the two. I mean, just on the same wavelength, same chemistry. It's just beautiful to see.
No, it's great to see. And, the two of them, they're only 18 years of age. They're going to grow old together at this club, a bit like Sonny and Kane.
Yeah.
You heard it here first. That's who they are.
Billy saying these lot have been fighting for their lives since knowing Ange was about to go nuclear at halftime. They certainly have been. And I think that's the fear that they have of even reaching halftime is, now they're getting fearful of just the water breaks, not even the halftime. The water breaks end up being a rollicking.
I absolutely loved it. What was it, 0-0 when the rollicking happened, and then all of a sudden for the next 20 minutes after that, Spurs 3-0. So it definitely worked. But I'm trying to get the full sort of breakdown of what he said. I think someone said something and he said, I can't believe you said that or something. We're going man for man press and everything. I absolutely love that. Honestly, someone said it on Twitter, you'd pay good money for someone to shout at you and motivate you like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you wake up out in the bed in the bed with, that ringing in your ears. That's a morning glory. I mean, it is.
And I thought you'd enjoy this one. The Team K-League manager, when his players keep dancing after consolation
well, Dan James
goals.
gets a consolation back. Don't celebrate it. Don't. What are you doing? We're not doing the dance. We're not doing the... What are we doing? We're losing 6-1. We're losing 6-1. What are you doing? Oh, my God. You would not get out of Old Trafford alive if you did.
I think that's what Dave even just said about Spurs as well, which is just hilarious. I love that one. That's a great one. The Spurs web pointing out that Alan Dixon with the new Spurs signing Heung-Min everyone wanted to have a chat with Heung-Min after the game, and I think that's nice to see, Dave. They didn't just ignore him. They're already making him feel welcome.
Yeah, Sonny sort of spoke to him in the tunnel. I know Bergvall, had an interaction with him. It's great to see, and look, he had a good game. He looked promising, down that left-hand side, and fair play to him. And it's good to see, that so many Spurs players are looking to already be nice to him and try and integrate him ahead of his arrival in January. It seems to be a common theme. They sort of go above and beyond to make these new players fit in straight away. Yeah. It's great to see, rather than years gone by where players like, oh shit, he's coming in, no, let's alienate him because we don't want to give away our spots, so
it used to be a bit clickier. Even though the team feels more competitive than it ever was in the past, it weirdly also feels less clicky than it did in the past too. That's a very good point by yourself. Random Spurs. This one is absolutely hilarious. It really was that sort of performance, sadly, from Oliver Skip. Ty saying, every game, Donley looks more and more comfortable in the left-back role. How would you feel if Ange chose him to be our backup left-back for the upcoming season? Now, I have some feelings about this one, Dave. I think Jamie Donley, he deserves to be in the 25-man squad. It's one of those things where, is he actually really suited to be, realistically, our backup left-back to Doji? I just don't think that's fair to the kid. I think he's shown that he is exceptionally intelligent, the way that he plays, positions himself. He showed that he can handle himself defensively, or at least anticipates danger quite well, because, again, he has a good brain and a good head on him. But, again, why can't we just give him more opportunities to play in that midfield, to give him, those opportunities in areas where he would be able to shine and you bring the best of his attributes. I think all we're getting from him playing at left back is just an example of an Archie Gray, just how talented he is, how smart he is, just with his football IQ. But, feels harsh to just throw him to backup left back and just have him play that for the season. I'd almost rather, if that's the case, him be sent out on loan for a season to, get proper minutes as a midfielder. But maybe Jamie Donley's just one of those unselfish guys that just wants to play no matter where he ends up being on the pitch, really. So it's a toss-up for me.
Look, I'd actually make the argument that it's a testament of how much Postecoglou really likes him and believes in him to a degree, because you don't see him putting Bergvall out of left back, and other players there that he could, and you don't see him do it. He's put a player from Cam into left back, and it's purely because he's obviously impressed them in training with what they've seen and in games, and showing that he can do a job, and the versatility. Ange Postecoglou will absolutely respect off the back of it. Look, being brutally honest, would I prefer to see him come in at left back than Ben Davies? Yes. Is it ideal, and should the club ever be in this position? No. They should go and get that backup left back. But if they don't, I would much rather see him than Ben Davies at left back for sure. Now, of course, I always take, it's coming up against the best wingers in the world in the Premier League. It's a different ball game altogether. But defensively, he's actually looked very good so far in pre-season and stuff like that. Look, I would argue Ange Postecoglou should keep him around. If his opportunities in the team come at left back, so be it. Jamie Donley won't mind. He just wants the opportunity to go out there and perform and be, a Spurs hero. That's all he wants. So I've no doubt he'll be happy with it. But I think it's one of these, Jack, where potentially with Archie Gray, they might be used to be fill-in players. But I do think eventually they just have to bide their time, and their opportunity will come in their natural position.
It's also a good quality to have to be Jamie Donley or like an Archie Gray, like a Jamie Donley, these guys that just will be played anywhere as long as they can get out onto the pitch and they won't make a fuss about it or won't say, oh, that doesn't suit me, coach, that type of thing. Credit to them for having that sort of mentality. Davina saying, bring back the cameras for this season at Prime Video Sport, and just halftime talks are a need. Dave, would you like to see Amazon Prime bring back the documentaries to Spurs this season?
Yeah, we need it. Look, we need behind the closed scenes, behind the closed doors of Ange Postecoglou, what's going on at the club right now. It's really, really exciting. I'd actually urge everyone to app Prime Video, tell them, demand what you want to see. We want to see behind the scenes, like we did Jose Mourinho style, with Ange Postecoglou and this current squad. Look, something special could be about to brew. Prime Video, you don't want to miss out on it.
Don't miss out on maybe giving Dave the creative director role as well. TEH Drunk saying, am I mad for genuinely thinking that Lancashire would probably be better than 96% of the strikers we would spend around 30 to 50 million on? Now, if it isn't a Gyökeres, if it isn't a Tony, if it isn't an Osimhen, something like that, Dave, I mean, is Lancashire ready? I'm not sure if he's exactly ready, but I mean, credit to the kid for scoring yet again in preseason, and he's shown that, like plenty of these other youngsters that you've been proven right about, they don't actually stick out that poorly. They actually have looked very good so far.
No, 100%. Look, you look at his goals and you can pull up Harry Kane goals. Movement is the same. The finishing is the same. There's such a likeness to him in that regard. We have to remember as well, we've seen him in the second half teams where it's been mix and match and a lot of substitutions, and he's took his opportunities. Could you imagine him in a team of Kulusevski, Son, whether it be Mikey Moore or someone better than Johnson on the right-hand side? The chances that would come that kid's way, all you got to do is be there to put them away, and he will be to a certain degree. So, I do take that argument, but if we're talking about him leading the line on his own, no. He's going to need someone else. He's 19 years of age. Injuries are going to happen. Fatigue is going to happen. You can't rely on him over the course of a whole season. But I think he's done enough to be kept around as maybe that second or third choice.
And Kulu was the number 9 the whole time, says Apollo. I mean, he's just been so involved in the opening goals, the link-up play. Like Dave just brought up earlier, him and Sonny seem to have a really good connection with each other no matter where they are on the pitch. And let's just get one last glimpse as well on just this Sonny Meg. Because I said to Dave, I think he megs him from about 4 or 5 yards away. It's just hilarious. Like, look at that. Like, he's buckling the knees, the player. It's just absolutely filthy. It's absolutely filthy. It's almost a crime to put that on screen. Emerson purposely letting Yang cook him to boost his confidence, a generational team player. You can't replace him.
This Billy guy is so worth a follow on Twitter, by the way. He's amazing.
It's just you can't replace him, but you need to find that meme also as well on top of that. Irreplaceable. Just more memes of more videos of the Sonny Meg, which I think should be put in like a Hall of Fame or be put up somewhere to be preserved for the rest of history when people look back at the sport. Carly T saying, "Are we ready for this conversation now?" James Madison.
I was ready for it last season.
Dave's been ready for a while now. I'm not sure if the whole fan base is ready, Carly, but Dave will be ready to join you once everyone else is. Emerson getting spun by our new wonder kid. This was a brilliant turn by Heung-Min Hook, and to be fair to Emerson, like Dave said, I think he had an all right defensive performance, but I was appreciative that Emerson did allow Heung-Min Hook to spin him here and give him some confidence. We got a glimpse of what the kid is capable of. It was great. Ron saying that Werner shimmy and low cross. And Dave, if you understand the context of this, is that LeBron has like this one move that's so obvious, but no one seems to ever pick up on it or ever realize that he's going to do it. And I think that's the same thing with Timo Werner, and that, like I call it, the Timo poke. It's the Timo poke that no one seems to get a grip of. Billy saying Spurs since Ange went mental during the drinks break. They just went serious. They went business mode, didn't they? They went business mode. Simon Yemaine saying you can already see Bergvall will be fine in the Premier League. Will play significant minutes for us next season, in my opinion. I'd go as far to say he could end up displacing a certain James Madison at this rate, or anyone else in the team. Really, he has been playing that well. Matters with Heung-Min Hook. Just again, another example. Fair play to Matters for just talking to him, making him feel welcome, saying hello, right, not ignoring him, that type of thing. A lot of hair pulls and a lot of head pushes, I must say, by Maddison. He must be a little jealous maybe of the Heung-Min Hook hairlines or something like that, because moving the head around a lot.
Yeah, I think he's saying to him, look, if you need anything golf related, I'm your guy, come and get me, or pool, stuff like that. He strikes me as sort of the entertainment guy within the dressing room.
Yeah.
So, I think he's saying to Hook, if you've got any suggestions, throw them my way.
Or he's petitioning for a new DJ in the club because he's not liking Basuma very much. Maybe he thinks Heung-Min Hook has some good tunes. And going absolutely crazy at the players. I think I'll try to play this for you guys if you hadn't heard it already, because it was very impressive. And just lung power in this, but also just how obviously frustrated he was.
Drinks break. And Postecoglou telling his players, you can hear him, they have to go man for man.
Absolutely livid there. Absolutely livid. And it's exactly what you want to be seeing. Him taking things seriously. He's not treating these preseason games like nothing. Billy saying, Skip, get ready to learn championship, buddy.
After today's performance, he hasn't done himself any justice at all.
Start learning the championship language. Spurs Express saying players catching up with new incoming Heung-Min Hook after the game today. You can see Pedro Porro there. You can see Bergvall there with him. James Maddison. Like we've been saying, it's very nice to see that they've up and doing that. And I think those are the old tweets from the Vissel Kobe game. So that will be it, everybody, on this Twitter Reacts. Final words from yourself, Dave, before we wrap it up?
Spurs fans, you've outdone yourself again. Thank you very much for the entertainment on Twitter. Really appreciate it. Like Jack said, give us your comments in the comment section below and your thoughts, around the game, your favourite Twitter post here as well. And if you do want to get involved, just at myself or Jack Kanicki on Twitter, and we'll include them as well. So thank you very much, and we'll see you again later on.
See you next time, everybody. Smash the like button on the way out if you do enjoy these Twitter reacts, and we'll see you for another one in the future. Quick turnaround. We'll be seeing you for Bayern Munich on Saturday. Have a good one, everybody. Come on, you Spurs. Big Ants we trust. We never stop.